All right, guys. I have now owned this carpet cleaning business for 3 whole days, and I still have not found the time to hop on and give you guys a summary of my initial impressions and what I've done. So that's what this video is for. I've done a lot. So Google My Business, Google Guaranteed, insurance, phone systems, all of this stuff. I'm gonna leave for separate videos where I'll actually dive in and document my process and share them with you that are specific to what I've worked on. But for this video, I'm just going to give you a summary of how the first 3 days have gone and my impressions of it. So, first of all, I want to share one great thing that's happened. Every single call and sell that we've had has been fully organic. So, just by purchasing the brand and the history of the business, in the last 3 days, we've had 7 people call and book business with us. So, which calculates to be, at least $1,500 in revenue that we have gotten just from purchasing the business. Versus if I were to start my own business, I would have had zero of those calls. So that has been pretty awesome to have calls come in every single day. So far, an average of over 2 people that have called and agreed for our service without me having to do anything, just the benefits of purchasing a business. So I wanted to share that with you. Uh, Now, my initial impressions when I bought the company, so I bought it on Monday, and Tuesday was my son's birthday. So I scheduled one job for the day because I wanted to spend the rest of the day with my son. And so the owner, he dropped off the van the night before, and I didn't look at it at all until Tuesday the next morning. And so I got in the van to go to my job, and first I realized that like it was messier than I thought, but I didn't really think anything of it. So I sat down in the seat, put my hand on the steering wheel, and I went to start the ignition, and literally my hand stuck to the steering wheel. Like, the sound like when you're holding onto something sticky, and like that like that literally happened to my hand. Like, ugh, it was so nasty, so gross. And so I grabbed a white rag that was by me and I went around the steering wheel. In fact, I'll share these videos with you in this video. And it was just dirt on it. It was so gross. But that wasn't the worst of it. When I was driving to my job, I took off my sunglasses and put them on the passenger seat, and I went to go put them back on, and it was raining outside. So there was like this spot of that I thought was water, like preventing me from seeing in the bottom corner of the sunglasses. So I usually take off my sunglasses and like wipe them off. So I took them off, and I went to go wipe them off on my shirt, and it wasn't water on my sunglasses. It was a fingernail that was stuck to my sunglasses. So I replicated that with this picture here, but at that point, I was just kind of like grossed out. It wasn't really the best start to the first day of owning the business. Now, when I got there, I got out of the van, and the first thing I noticed is that something smelled really weird. In fact, it smelled like old yeasty beer smell. Like when someone has like slept in alcohol, and you can just smell it. Like it's really, really gross smell. I got out of the van, and it turns out the seat that I was sitting on was drenched in old alcohol, and it it passed on to me. And so I was super self-conscious. I go up, knock on the door to this first house that I've ever done, since owning the business, and I introduce myself, and like it's just so awkward because I'm like introducing myself, and I'm sure these guys are thinking like, who is this guy that just took over this business? Must like be an alcoholic. So uh, not really the best first impression. As soon as I was done with that job, I called one of my best friends, Sebron, who owns a detailing company, and I said, hey, you got to drop everything right now. Like you have to clean this out. Like I can't continue doing this. So um, I went and dropped off the van at his shop so he could detail it, and I had planned to spend the rest of the day with my son. So we went to lunch at Chick-fil-A, but the whole time, like I just was so grossed out. Like I was so tense. I still smelled like I was like I had just drunk 12 cans of beer or something. And my son Levi was trying to like touch me and play with me, and I was just telling him like, "Don't touch me! Like I'm gross right now." I just felt really, really nasty. So we were gonna go shopping and buy some birthday presents afterwards, but instead of doing that, I made my wife take me home. So that was my first experience in the business. Now the good thing is Sebron did a great job, and the van looks a whole lot better. So here's a video showing you the difference between it, and I can actually sit in that seat without smelling like an alcoholic. Anyway, I thought that was a funny first impression of the business. And here's the point with that though, is when I buy a business, I'm not looking at how nice it is. In fact, it's kind of like flipping a home. I'm first looking at the bones. What does this business have to offer? And with the bad that comes with it, is this something that I can turn around? So it cost me $150, and I gave my friend a $50 tip extra to detail the van. So for $200, I was able to get rid of a lot of the bad that came with the business. And during that time, we had 7 calls in business, and I've done 6 of those so far, and we've generated for over $1,400 in revenue during that time. So we are net positive, and already I've been able to increase the brand by cleaning the vehicle. And I've had 2 reviews online. I've been able to make a lot of progress. And so if you are looking to buy a business, sometimes you have to put on blinders to the bad and ask yourself, is the bad that's coming with this business, can I overcome it? And really look at the good. Look at their history, look at their call volume. That's why I bought this business, is because of the revenue that's coming in, and the money that I paid for it, $25,000 to have over $1,500 in revenue in 3 days. That's going to be an amazing return. If we calculate that out, and I probably should have calculated that out before doing this video, over the course of a year, right? If we have an 80% margin, which is where I'm at so far. Now, as I continue to have more expenses, my margin will probably drop to somewhere around 50%. But even then, $700 in profit over 3 days, where I paid $25,000, that math over the course of a year will be a really, really, really amazing return compared to if I put that money into the stock market or something else. So my goal from here on out, just so you guys know, is to document everything, share it with you, and then train someone else to run aspects of the business so that I can slowly start moving away from the business and be an investor in the business and oversee the business rather than spend my time and trade my time for money in the business. So I'm excited to share that with you. Stay tuned, and we'll see you later.